Hi there, my friends. Today, I just want to sit down and have a little heart-to-heart with you. Like family. Like a child or grandchild who's genuinely worried about their parents or grandparents. Because once we cross that line into our 60s, things we used to think were harmless suddenly start to matter a whole lot more. Have you ever woken up feeling dizzy, lightheaded, maybe a bit foggy in the head, even though you only ate what seemed like healthy foods the day before? I've seen so many patients like that in my 30 years of practicing medicine. And the truth is, most of them had no idea that the very foods they thought were good for them were actually putting them at risk. Especially those over 50, with underlying health issues or weakened blood vessels. So today, I want to share with you 7 types of foods that are generally considered healthy. But if you eat them the wrong way, or at the wrong time, they could silently increase your risk of stroke, poor circulation, or cognitive decline. And most importantly, I'm not here to scare you. I'm here to help you become more aware so you can adjust, make better choices, and live well. 1. Raw bean sprouts. Sometimes cooling goes too far. Have you ever woken up in the morning, just a little dizzy, with numb hands or feet, and thought to yourself, "It must be my age"? I want you to pause for a second and ask yourself, could it be something else? Maybe it's not age at all. Maybe it was that bean sprout salad you had last night. Let me tell you a story. One of my patients, Grace, 68 years old, from San Diego, came in looking worried. She said, "Doc, I don't feel sick, but every morning, I wake up feeling tired, a bit lightheaded. Sometimes my hands feel numb. It's hard to lift them." Her tests? All normal. Blood pressure, fine. Blood sugar, stable. But then she casually mentioned her favorite dinner, cold chicken salad with raw bean sprouts. She ate it every single night because it felt light and refreshing. And that was the clue. See, raw bean sprouts, though fresh and seemingly healthy, are naturally cooling. They lower body temperature. For younger folks, the body can balance that out. But after 60, the body slows down. Blood pressure dips more easily. Circulation gets weaker. And the body doesn't handle subtle temperature drops the way it used to. So when you eat raw bean sprouts at night, your body temperature can drop a little. Combine that with deep sleep, and your brain may not be getting enough blood flow. What happens the next morning? Fatigue, dizziness, tingling hands and feet, and no one connects it to dinner. You see, sometimes what weakens us isn't something bad. It's something we thought was too good. Now I'm not saying you have to give up bean sprouts entirely, but I am asking you to reconsider, especially the timing and preparation. Maybe just lightly blanch them, or save them for lunch instead of dinner. That small shift alone might make your body thank you. 2. Green tomatoes. Don't juice them unless they're fully ripe. I get it. We've all heard that veggie juice is a great way to stay healthy. But let me ask you this. Are all vegetables, at every stage of ripeness, actually safe? Let's talk about green tomatoes. They're in many American kitchens, and some folks like to juice them or toss them into a salad while they're still a little unripe. Sounds fresh, right? One of my longtime patients, Michael, 72 years old, very health conscious, used to start every morning with the homemade juice, tomatoes, celery, and a splash of lemon. But here's the thing. He was using green tomatoes. He believed they were fresher. A few weeks in, he started experiencing light headaches, cold fingers. Sometimes he'd feel a bit off balance when getting up. At first, he blamed it on age, but I had a hunch there was more to it. You see, unripe green tomatoes contain solanine, a natural compound that can tighten blood vessels. For older adults, especially those with circulation issues or high blood pressure, solanine can silently interfere with blood flow to the brain. The result? Headaches, numb fingers, dizziness, even subtle balance issues, all caused by something that seemed healthy. What's the takeaway? Healthy choices are only healthy when done the right way, at the right time. If you love tomatoes, go for it, but make sure they're fully ripe. That bright red color isn't just for taste. It's nature's signal that the food is safer and better for you. And if you're juicing in the morning, just remember, green doesn't always mean good. Sometimes, patience, letting your produce ripen, is the healthiest thing you can do. 3. Broccoli. Eating it raw every day might backfire. I'm sure you've heard this 100 times. Eat your greens every day, especially broccoli. It's good for your brain, your heart, your overall health. And you know what? That's not wrong. But here's something they don't always tell you. Eating the right thing the wrong way can do more harm than good. Let me tell you about Ruth. She's 76, a retired literature teacher. Independent, smart, lives on her own. Every morning, she made herself a green smoothie, apples, celery, and raw broccoli. Why raw? Because she read online that raw means more nutrients. But after a few months, Ruth started feeling off. She was tired all the time. Her heartbeat slowed. Some mornings, she'd walk into the kitchen and forget why. And when reading her favorite book, her hands would tremble just a little. We ran some tests, and the results surprised her. Low blood pressure, poor circulation to the brain, and most importantly, her thyroid wasn't working right. The culprit? Goitrogens, natural compounds found in raw broccoli. When eaten every day, in large amounts, they can interfere with thyroid function, especially in older adults. Now imagine your thyroid as the central clock for your whole body. It helps regulate your heart rate, blood pressure, and even your body temperature. When it's off, everything feels off. You're cold, tired, mentally foggy, like your brain's wrapped in a soft cloud. So let me be clear. I'm not saying broccoli is bad. It's still one of the best vegetables out there. But steam it, lightly cook it, and don't eat it raw every single day like it's a religion. At the end of the day, good health isn't about the perfect food. It's about listening to your body and adjusting gently with care. 4. Mixed veggie smoothies. Too much isn't always better. It's early morning. Sunlight peeks through your window. You think to yourself, today, I'm starting healthy. So you toss some celery, green apple, kale, maybe a bit of ginger into the blender. A tall glass of green, clean, plant power. Sounds perfect, right? Well, let me tell you a story. Franklin, 68, a retired Navy officer. A man of discipline, precision, routine. Every morning, without fail, he made a green smoothie, just like you. But one day, after drinking it, he felt dizzy, lightheaded, sweating. He had to sit down, hold the table, and wait for the world to stop spinning. At first, he thought, maybe I'm just tired today. But when we looked closer, checked his labs and his meds, the real cause became clear. Franklin was taking blood pressure medication, and drinking a cold, powerful smoothie on an empty stomach triggered a sudden drop in his blood pressure. That green drink, while healthy in theory, became a shock to his system. You see, veggies are good. But how and when you take them matters. After 60, your body doesn't bounce back like it used to at 30 or 40. An empty stomach plus cold smoothie plus blood pressure meds equals a dangerous combo. So here's what you can do instead. Eat a light breakfast first, with some healthy fats and protein. Sip warm water slowly to wake up your system. And if you love smoothies, save them for after breakfast, or at least once your body is fully awake. Ever feel woozy after something that was supposed to be good for you? Maybe it wasn't your age. Maybe it was just the wrong start to your day. 5. Garlic, when food becomes medicine and then a danger. Garlic is nature's gift. I used to say that to my students back at Harvard, and I still believe it. But even gold, when misused, can turn into poison. Let me tell you about someone I'll never forget. Mrs. Helen, my old high school teacher, now 72, long retired, but still writing me handwritten letters. She loved nature, hated pills, and for the past 3 months, she made a habit of chewing raw garlic, 2 cloves, every night before bed. She believed it would keep her heart strong. But one morning, she woke up, and something felt wrong. She forgot her granddaughter's name. She couldn't remember the code to her safe. And a dull, persistent headache wouldn't let go. We ran tests, blood work, brain scans. The results were alarming. Her platelet count had dropped sharply, and there were signs of microbleeding in the brain. The cause? Raw garlic, mixed with Plavix, a blood thinner she had been taking for years. You see, garlic isn't bad. But garlic is what we call a medicinal food. That means, use it right, and it heals. Use it wrong, at the wrong time, in the wrong dose, or with the wrong meds, and it can do real harm. Garlic naturally thins the blood. That's great for people with high blood pressure, in moderation. But if you're already taking aspirin, Plavix, or any anticoagulant, adding raw garlic every day is like pouring fuel on a quiet fire. So I want you to think about this. Is the food on your plate helping your body thrive, or unknowingly breaking it down? The answer isn't fear. It's awareness. Ask your doctor. Adjust your habits. Respect your body. Because eating right is not just about choosing healthy foods. It's knowing when to pause. 6. Bamboo shoots, a delicacy, but also a danger. Just the mention of bamboo shoots brings me home to bowls of sour soup, spicy northern-style noodles, slow-cooked stews, a flavor of tradition, a taste of comfort. But here's something most people overlook. If not prepared properly, fresh bamboo shoots aren't food. They're a health test, especially for older adults. One morning, I got a call about a 74-year-old man living just outside of California with his wife. He had woken up with a pounding headache, blood pressure 180, and climbing fast. At the hospital, the attending asked if he'd eaten anything unusual. He paused and said, "Well, last night I had noodle soup. My wife added fresh bamboo shoots, just bought them from the market." That sentence unlocked everything. You see, fresh bamboo, unless it's thoroughly boiled and rinsed, still contains natural cyanide compounds. And in sensitive individuals, especially those with hardened arteries or underlying hypertension, that cyanide can trigger vasoconstriction, tightening of the blood vessels, and cause a sudden spike in blood pressure. If you're young, your body might absorb the shock. But when you're over 60, your blood vessels aren't as elastic. Your reflex is slow, and even a small blood pressure surge can tip the balance toward the stroke. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you should give up bamboo entirely. But here's what I am saying. Always boil fresh bamboo thoroughly. Discard the first batch of water. Don't eat large amounts in one sitting. And if you have any heart or blood pressure issues, talk to your doctor first. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you ate bamboo shoots? And are you sure they were as safe as they tasted? 7. Seaweed healthy. But not for everyone. Seaweed. Sounds healthy, right? I used to think the same. Until I met a 68-year-old heart patient who ended up in the ER at 2 a.m. with heart palpitations. It started like any other night. He had instant noodles for dinner, but skipped the seasoning packet. Instead, he added dried seaweed, thinking it was the healthier option. But what he didn't know, that store-bought dried seaweed? It's naturally salty and loaded with iodine and hidden sodium. And that's where the trouble began. If you have a thyroid imbalance, or if you're on heart medications, too much seaweed, especially late at night, can disrupt your heart rhythm. It can raise your blood pressure silently, without any warning signs. Now pair that with instant noodles, high sodium, low potassium, and it's a 1-2 punch to already aging blood vessels. You may not feel the effects that night, but over time, you might start waking at 1 or 2 a.m., heart racing, sleep fragmented, fatigue creeping in. I remember asking him, "Did you ever think seaweed could be the issue?" He shook his head. I thought it was healthy. And that's the lesson. Seaweed can be great if you eat it in moderation. Rotate it with other foods. Avoid combining it with high-sodium meals. And pay attention to how your body responds. Because sometimes, healthy doesn't mean right for everyone. Especially as we age. If anything I shared made you pause for a second, or reminded you of your parents, your grandparents, or someone you truly care about, please share this video with them. Because sometimes, just one small change at dinner tonight could help someone you love avoid a stroke down the road. And if you'd like to hear more real stories, simple health tips, and heartfelt advice from a doctor over 60 who's still deeply passionate about this work, consider subscribing to this channel. Thank you for staying here with me. There are days when a patient just needs a kind word, and sometimes staying alive is as simple as choosing the right vegetable or eating it at the right time. I wish you good health, peace of mind, and the strength to love and to live fully. See you in the next video.